Venezuela has some of the largest proven oil reserves on Earth, more oil than most countries can even imagine. But here's the paradox. A country sitting on a fortune ended up with food lines, shortages, and money that couldn't buy dinner. So what caused it? Was it bad management? Or was it foreign pressure, especially from the US, pushing Venezuela while it was already collapsing? The truth is, it's both. A perfect storm. First, the internal trap, something called Dutch disease. Here's what that means in normal language. When one resource, like oil, brings in easy money, the country starts relying on it for everything. It feels safe. It feels endless. Instead of building farms and factories, Venezuela imported more and more. Oil paid the bills. Food, medicine, parts, even basic supplies, bought from outside. And this didn't start with Hugo Chávez. Venezuela was leaning on oil for decades. The danger is simple. If oil prices fall, the whole country falls. In the 1970s, oil boomed. Money poured in. Governments spent big. But in the 1980s, oil prices crashed hard, and Venezuela never truly built a backup economy strong enough to stand on its own. Then came the political phase that turned a weak system into a crisis. Hugo Chávez arrives in the late 1990s. He was charismatic. He spoke directly to the poor. And at first, many people genuinely felt improvement. More social programs, more support, more hope. But Chávez treated oil money like it would never end. Instead of saving for bad years, the government spent heavily during good years. And inside the oil industry, politics slowly replaced expertise. Skilled workers and managers were pushed out. Decisions became more political than technical. And over time, the oil system, Venezuela's single most important engine, became less efficient. Then Chávez died, and Nicolás Maduro took over. By this point, the economy was already cracked, but under Maduro, the situation escalated fast. The government tightened control, ruled more by emergency-style power, and when the economy kept sinking, it printed money to survive. That's where the nightmare really hits. Inflation exploded, turning into hyperinflation. Prices rose so fast that wages became meaningless. Savings were wiped out. People rushed to spend money the moment they got paid, because waiting even a few days meant losing value. And the human cost was brutal. There were shortages of food and medicine. Families skipped meals. People experienced involuntary weight loss, not because of dieting, but because of hunger. Now zoom out. While Venezuela was collapsing internally, the outside world was watching, especially the US. Why does the US care? One reason is simple. Venezuelan oil is geographically close to the US compared to Middle Eastern oil routes. Shorter shipping, strategic advantage, energy security. And then came pressure. In 2019, the US imposed major sanctions targeting PDVSA, Venezuela's state oil company. Supporters argue sanctions were meant to pressure a corrupt and authoritarian regime. Critics argue sanctions squeezed an already collapsing economy and made the humanitarian crisis worse. So when people ask, what caused Venezuela to fall, the honest answer is uncomfortable. It wasn't one thing. It was a collision. A country trapped in oil dependence, leaders who mismanaged the system, an oil industry weakened by politics, a currency destroyed by money printing, and external pressure tightening at the worst possible time. And that leads to the question that still divides people. Who's most responsible? The leaders inside the country, or the powers outside that pushed hardest when Venezuela was already down?
I'm Leo, your wealth guide. See you in the next video.